Alright, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk a little bit about dinghies and the best dinghy location. If you're coming from a 45 to 50 foot express style boat where it's really one level like this, your dinghy was probably here because there's no other place to put it. There's no fly bridge or boat deck up top. And this is what you've probably become used to. And this is certainly great for coastal cruising. I would say for 90% of the couples I meet, the dinghy can be back here and there's really no concern. But let's look at a couple of other options. Alright, now on this vessel, they've added what's called a freedom lift, and I'm going to show you this in more detail with the boat out of the water. But the advantage of this system is it goes up and down, but there's not much structure underneath the boat. So if you got in very bad sea conditions, it would take a lot to start pounding at the bottom of this boat, and if water did start coming up, it can flow back and forth pretty easily. These mechanisms also have the ability to remove these arms and take the dinghy off totally. And I find a lot of clients here in the southeast kind of have a dinghy season and a non-dinghy season. And by that I mean, if you're coastal cruising and you're going from marina to marina, you don't need a dinghy at all. Now, if you get up to Maine and want to be on a mooring ball, then you probably need a dinghy again. When you go to the Bahamas and you want to anchor out, you need a dinghy again. But if you know you're going to yacht club hop for the next 10 days, what's nice about this system is I can put this dinghy in the water, tie it up at my slip, or have it taken out and put on a trailer, and I can take these little arms out and I don't have any dinghy at all to worry about. One of the disadvantages as the boats get bigger of having this system is I've now made this boat about 6 feet longer. And sometimes you're limited in the slip. So if you're already a 65-foot boat in a large slip, and adding another 6 or 8 feet to the length of the boat is a factor, then that can be a problem for some. Alright, now this is what's called a lowering swim platform. So the entire swim platform has been lengthened, and this whole thing goes in and out of the water. And on flat calm days, this is wonderful. It's a great platform to swim up to when it's halfway submerged. Pretty convenient. But on that really rough day with a big following sea, there's a lot of exposure here. So if you're coastal cruising, 90% of the people are going to be just fine with this arrangement. But if you want to go to Tortola in the spring and be out at sea for 3 nights in 20-25 knot winds because you're trying to get somewhere, then this could become really a wash and a concern on a really rough day with a big following sea. Alright, this is definitely the safest arrangement for a dinghy on a motor yacht. We're up on the second deck. We've got a davit here. This dinghy's never going to be exposed to waves. It's just the most secure spot for it. It is more difficult to launch, so I can only launch off this side. If I'm going to slip, I can't get the dinghy in the water. So I need to think about launching the dinghy if I'm going to need it before I dock the boat. I think the best arrangement's probably both. In this boat, they're adding a freedom lift as well. So I think the best arrangement for a motor yacht, it's a little expensive because you need both mechanisms, is to have the davit to be able to put the dinghy up here on major crossings, and to be able to have the freedom lift when you're coastal cruising and just want to take the dinghy to lunch or dinner. Okay, so as I mentioned, we're adding the freedom lift in addition to the davit up top, and this gives the owner the most versatility. So depending on where I'm using the boat and where I want the dinghy to be, I could have it up top or I could have it down here. It's a tough choice for many, and you really have to decide how you want to use the boat and whether you really want the dinghy accessible. I know that the customers that have easy access to the dinghy back here definitely use it more often. And if you want to be able to get the dinghy off while you're in your slip or anchor out in the intercoastal waterway and go to dinner, then this is a really nice option. I hope you found this informative. Please like and subscribe.